spatial join, it's useful to ask all of these questions. What should the final output layer or table look like? Which is the target layer that you're going to write to? Which spatial operation is appropriate, such as intersect or is contained within? Which field do I want in the output table, or which fields do I want? And could a target feature match multiple join features, that cardinality? And if yes, how can that be handled? So let's look at an example here. Here, a congressional staffer is asked to provide a list of representatives from districts with at least 10 deaths from earthquakes. So basically, he has to combine all the congressional districts in the United States with information on where all of those different earthquakes occurred. So the districts is going to be the target table. That's what we're going to be writing to, and the earthquakes is going to be the table. The spatial attribute, or the spatial layer, which we're going to join to here. So when setting up this spatial join, our targets are our congressional districts. Our join feature are our quakes, our historical quakes, and the output feature class is going to be a new layer that's called quake impacts, and it's going to be a one-to-one join. And so we don't want to use all of these. We want to have the party name, the number of deaths and the damage, and that's what we're going to put into the output table. So districts is the target layer, earthquakes is the join layer. The record should match if the quakes touch the district. So if a earthquake was within a district, it counts as being in that congressional district. It's going to include the district ID, the party, the representative's name, and the sum of the earthquake. So remember, we want to use sum here, right? That's one of the ways that if we have a one-to-many type of relationship, we can summarize that. And one district can match many quakes, but we want the summed values rather than duplicate districts. So we want to do a one-to-one join and a sum merge rule on the deaths. So this is what our output would look like. Each individual district is listed here. The name of the representative is listed here, the party with which they're affiliated, and then the deaths. So if there are no points within there, we get nulls. If the deaths are equal to 0, we get points of 0. Here's the join count here, right? We can see the ones that had 0 earthquakes, they get null values for deaths. But these ones did have earthquakes. They had 1, 4, and 1 earthquakes, but there were no deaths associated with them. You can see they're all in Alabama. But once we get into Alaska, now we've had 29 earthquakes in this person's district, and there's actually been 125 total deaths. The sum of all the deaths associated with those 29 points that occurred within his district summed up to be 125 deaths. So these are good join results because they answer the question that we posed, and they would be useful for finding what we want to find.